In Hollywood, secrets don't stay buried for long. And this time, the truth didn't leak, it exploded. When a mysterious video of Nicole Murphy surfaced online, fans didn't know what to think. The clips were blurred, the voices muffled. But one thing was clear, it wasn't meant for the public eye. And then came LisaRaye. Within hours, she broke her silence, unleashing years of bottled-up anger and betrayal. Her words were sharp, her tone colder than ever. "I warned everyone, this is who she really is." But what exactly did Nicole Murphy do? Why was LisaRaye's reaction so personal? And what dark history connects these two women in ways the public never understood? Tonight, we dive deep into the scandal that shook Hollywood, the story behind the leaked tape, the broken trust, and the truth LisaRaye says everyone ignored. Before the whispers, before the tape, before the headlines, LisaRaye McCoy and Nicole Murphy weren't enemies. They were two women in Hollywood who knew what it felt like to survive in an industry that fed on beauty and betrayal. In the early 2000s, both were icons in their own right. LisaRaye was the Players Club star, fierce, outspoken, and loved for her authenticity. Nicole Murphy was elegance personified, a model-turned-entrepreneur known as Eddie Murphy's ex-wife and the definition of Hollywood glam. For years, they crossed paths at events, smiling for the same cameras, exchanging polite words. But behind those red carpet smiles, there was tension, unspoken, but undeniable. Rumors followed Nicole everywhere she went. LisaRaye had heard them all, the whispered stories, the quiet warnings. But she brushed them off. After all, gossip was Hollywood's favorite game. Then came Turks and Caicos, the moment everything changed. LisaRaye's then-husband, Michael Missick, was the island's prime minister. Their marriage was glamorous, high-profile, and constantly under scrutiny. Nicole was seen vacationing nearby, nothing unusual in celebrity circles. But a few months later, whispers started to spread. Nicole had been too close to LisaRaye's husband. LisaRaye didn't believe it at first. She had defended Nicole before, called her a friend, even. But when photos surfaced and details began lining up, the friendship cracked. Publicly, LisaRaye kept her composure. Privately, she was furious. Years passed. Both women moved on. LisaRaye focused on her career and family. Nicole rebranded herself as a wellness entrepreneur, keeping her image pristine. But Hollywood doesn't forget, it waits. In early 2025, an anonymous social media account dropped a clip, grainy, distorted, but explosive. It was allegedly Nicole Murphy, in what fans described as compromising behavior, with a mystery man. The video spread like wildfire. Within hours, it had been downloaded, reposted, and dissected frame by frame. At first, people thought it was fake, another deepfake scandal. But certain details, the voice, the jewelry, the setting, made it hard to dismiss. LisaRaye stayed quiet for a few days. Her name began trending, even though she hadn't said a word. Fans flooded her comments with one question: "Is this the karma you talked about?" Then, one morning, LisaRaye logged onto Instagram Live. No glam, no script, no filter. Just a single sentence that would ignite Hollywood. "I told y'all. Nicole's been sick for a long time." The internet froze. What did she mean? Was she talking about mental health, or something darker? In the hours that followed, blogs picked it apart. YouTubers dissected her tone, her expression, her every pause. But LisaRaye wasn't finished. She was just getting started. Behind the scenes, insiders said she'd been holding on to something, proof, as she called it, something that connected Nicole's fetish to the betrayal she'd experienced years ago. And for the first time, LisaRaye was ready to share it. Hollywood's calm was over. The storm had begun. It started on a random Tuesday night. No one expected anything unusual. But by dawn, social media had turned into a wildfire. A single post, barely 40 seconds long, had ignited a storm that no PR team could contain. The caption read only, "Nicole Murphy caught in 4K flushed face." At first glance, it looked fake. The footage was blurry, the lighting low, but the silhouette, the voice, and the laughter were unmistakable. Within hours, #Nicole Murphy tape was trending in over 20 countries. Millions of people were watching, pausing, rewinding, searching for truth in a pixelated mess. But what really made the video explode wasn't what people saw, it was what they heard. A man's voice, muffled, teasing, saying something that sent chills down the internet's spine. Something about a ritual. Something about the cameras watching. It wasn't explicit, but it was strange, unsettling. And then, a woman's laughter, Nicole's, fans claimed, followed by a phrase that no one could forget. "This is our secret show." That line became the headline. Memes, tweets, and YouTube breakdowns flooded every platform. People speculated endlessly. Was this some kind of performance? A prank? A fetish caught on film? Nicole's team went silent. They didn't issue a denial. They didn't claim hacking. Nothing. And silence in Hollywood speaks volumes. Meanwhile, LisaRaye was watching it all unfold from home. According to a source close to her, she didn't smile, she didn't laugh, she just whispered, "Now they see." That same night, LisaRaye went live again. This time, she didn't hold back. Her tone was calm, too calm. You play with people's lives long enough, and it catches up. She played with mine. She played with others. Now the world sees what I saw years ago. The comment section exploded. Some viewers begged her to elaborate. Others accused her of revenge. But LisaRaye didn't flinch. She leaned closer to the camera, her eyes sharp as she said, "Y'all think this is about a tape? No. This is about a pattern, a sickness that hides behind glamour." The word sickness stuck like glue. Within hours, gossip blogs were digging into every connection Nicole had, past relationships, friendships, co-stars, trying to piece together what LisaRaye meant. Then, TMZ released a still frame from the tape, enhanced, color-corrected, and damning. It wasn't explicit, but it was clear enough. The jewelry on her wrist matched photos Nicole had posted days earlier. The setting, a lavish home with marble floors and dim candlelight, matched her own living room from an Instagram story weeks before. There was no running from it now. Hollywood insiders began whispering about Nicole's weird obsessions, private parties, unusual requests, and a fascination with being filmed. Some called it harmless. Others called it disturbing. One former associate told Page 6. She liked to turn everything into a performance, even her private life. Cameras made her feel alive. It wasn't about the act, it was about being seen. That single quote changed everything. Fans began connecting dots between Nicole's old social posts, cryptic captions, and past scandals. This wasn't just a leak, it was a pattern unraveling in real time. Meanwhile, LisaRaye's following grew by the minute. Her blunt honesty, her refusal to sugarcoat, turned her from the angry ex-friend into a truth-teller. She wasn't just exposing Nicole. She was painting a picture of Hollywood's dark obsession with perfection, and how it drives people to the edge. But as LisaRaye spoke her truth, one question echoed louder than all. If this was Nicole's secret, how deep did it really go? And who else knew? The storm wasn't over. It was just beginning to pull everyone in. Because in Hollywood, one leaked tape rarely stays about one person. And the next revelation would drag more names into the fire. By the third day, the story wasn't just viral, it was radioactive. News anchors, bloggers, podcasters, everyone was talking about the Nicole Murphy tape. But the loudest voice wasn't from a journalist. It was from LisaRaye McCoy. Her Instagram live had already broken 1.2 million views in less than 24 hours. The comments were chaos, half of Hollywood insiders, half of the internet trying to decode every word she said. But what came next was different. This time, LisaRaye wasn't emotional. She wasn't angry. She was focused, ready. She started the live with one simple sentence. "This ain't gossip, this is truth, and I'm tired of being quiet." Her tone was low, deliberate, the kind of voice that carried more weight than shouting ever could. LisaRaye began recounting a story most fans had forgotten, the one about her marriage in Turks and Caicos. She reminded everyone that Nicole had once called her sis. That she had welcomed her into her home, introduced her to her family, trusted her. Then her voice hardened. "And that same woman, that same friend, was creeping with my husband behind my back, while smiling in my face." The live chat went wild. People typed furiously. "Wait, she's confirming it. This is about Michael Missick. She's been holding this for years." LisaRaye nodded slowly, letting the comments fly. "People said I was bitter. They said I was dramatic. Nah, I was hurt. And I stayed quiet to protect people who didn't deserve protection." Then she paused, took a deep breath, and dropped the line that would echo across Hollywood for weeks. "And now that tape y'all seen? That ain't new behavior. That's the same sickness I saw up close." The word sickness trended instantly. Every gossip outlet ran with it. LisaRaye calls Nicole Murphy sick after leaked tape.
But LisaRaye didn't clarify. She didn't backtrack or soften her words. Instead, she leaned in.
She began talking about the Hollywood image, how people wear masks, play roles, and build brands on lies. People think beauty means innocent.
They see a smile and think it's pure.
But y'all don't see what happens behind closed doors. The manipulation, the obsession, the need to be adored.
Her words hit differently.
They weren't just about Nicole anymore. They were about every celebrity who hides behind the facade of fame.
Then came the twist no one saw coming.
LisaRaye reached for her phone and pulled up screenshots. She didn't show faces, but she scrolled slowly, messages, timestamps, DMs. She didn't read them out loud, but the chat exploded anyway. Fans took screenshots, zoomed in, analyzed every pixel. One message stood out, blurred but partly visible. "The cameras make me feel powerful."
That was all the internet needed.
YouTubers, TikTok analysts, and bloggers went into overdrive. Was this Nicole's fetish? Being watched, being filmed, being seen?
LisaRaye didn't confirm or deny. She ended her live with a chilling line.
When your whole life becomes a performance, eventually, the mask slips.
Then she went offline. Within hours, the damage was done. Nicole's brand deals began pulling out.
A luxury skincare line deleted her from their campaign. Her PR team released a vague statement, false narrative, misleading video, privacy violation, but it was too late. The internet had made its judgment. Meanwhile, LisaRaye's fanbase exploded. People called her fearless, authentic, real. Talk shows debated whether she was brave or cruel. But for LisaRaye, it wasn't about fame, it was about closure. She had carried this story for years, buried under the weight of image and silence. And now, finally, she was free.
Still, freedom came with consequences.
Hollywood doesn't reward truth-tellers, it isolates them.
Within days, calls stopped coming. Certain producers paused projects. Some friends stopped answering. But LisaRaye didn't care. As she told one interviewer later that week,
"I didn't lose anything worth keeping. Sometimes you gotta burn the fake to feel the real." The internet applauded, but Hollywood bristled. Because behind the applause, everyone knew, if LisaRaye could expose Nicole, she could expose anyone. And somewhere in Los Angeles, Nicole Murphy was preparing her own response. Her silence was ending. Her truth, or her version of it, was about to go public. The storm had reached its eye. And what came next would determine who survived the fallout. Days turned into weeks, and the internet refused to move on. The Nicole Murphy scandal had become more than gossip. It was a spectacle. Every new clip, every whispered rumor, every reaction video fed the machine. But behind the trending hashtags and viral breakdowns, real lives were unraveling. Nicole Murphy had disappeared from social media. Her last post, a photo of her morning smoothie, was flooded with over 100,000 comments, none of them kind.
Some mocked her. Some defended her. But most just wanted answers.
Then, on a quiet Sunday afternoon, the answers came. A video appeared on Nicole's official YouTube channel titled simply, "My Truth."
No glam. No makeup. No publicist.
Just Nicole, sitting in a plain white room, her hands clasped tightly, her voice shaking. She began softly, almost whispering, "I've made mistakes, but I'm not the monster they are painting me to be." Her tone wavered between exhaustion and anger. She admitted the video was real, but not what people thought it was. That tape wasn't meant to be that kind of tape. It was part of something personal, an art project I never finished. She claimed the footage was stolen, leaked by someone she once trusted. But as she spoke, her explanations felt fractured, uncertain. Every pause, every tear, felt rehearsed, or maybe just too late. Then came the part that stunned everyone. Nicole turned her attention directly to LisaRaye.
"You've said a lot about me. You've carried anger for years. And maybe I deserve some of it.
But if I was sick, like you say, why didn't you help me when you had the chance?"
The internet froze. Was this a deflection, or a cry for understanding?
Within an hour, her video hit 1 million views. Half the comments were skeptical, calling it damage control. The other half were sympathetic, claiming she was being destroyed by the media machine.
But LisaRaye wasn't silent for long.
She responded the next morning with a short, piercing statement. "Accountability isn't cruelty. Truth doesn't need a filter."
No hashtags. No elaboration. Just that. And with those words, she closed her chapter. For LisaRaye, this wasn't about revenge, it was about release. Still, the fallout was brutal. Hollywood divided overnight. Some sided with Nicole, calling her a victim of exposure and misogyny. Others supported LisaRaye, praising her for speaking hard truths no one else would dare to say. Behind closed doors, networks debated whether to blacklist both women to avoid further controversy. Brand deals vanished. Invitations disappeared. But neither woman backed down.
LisaRaye retreated from the spotlight, focusing on her podcast, ironically titled Unfiltered. In her first episode, she spoke without naming names. I've learned that silence protects the wrong people. And sometimes, telling your truth costs you everything. But peace is worth it. Fans called it her redemption moment. Nicole, meanwhile, continued to post self-care content, yoga videos, motivational captions, and the occasional quote about healing.
But the shadow of that tape never fully faded.
What was once a glamorous friendship had become one of Hollywood's most haunting cautionary tales, a reminder that in the age of cameras and clicks, privacy is a myth, and perception is power. Years later, when asked in an interview whether she regretted speaking out, LisaRaye smiled faintly and said, "I regret trusting people who wore masks. I don't regret taking mine off." The interviewer paused, sensing the weight of those words. Because by then, everyone knew, the tape wasn't just about Nicole. It was a mirror reflecting everything wrong with fame. The obsession with image, the addiction to attention, the sickness of needing to be seen. And as the lights dimmed on the scandal that once set Hollywood on fire, one truth remained unshaken. Secrets will always surface. It's only a matter of who tells them first. In Hollywood, stories fade faster than the credits roll. But this one, the pain, the betrayal, the truth, left a scar that no spotlight could hide.
LisaRaye didn't start a war.
She ended her silence. And in doing so, she reminded the world that truth isn't always pretty, but it's always powerful. Nicole's story, her mistakes, her mystery, they became more than a scandal. They became a mirror, a warning about what happens when fame becomes an addiction, and privacy, a casualty. Because at the end of the day, the real show doesn't happen on stage, it happens after the cameras stop rolling. If this story made you rethink what's real behind the fame, hit like, share, and subscribe to the Story Vault, where we don't chase gossip, we reveal the truth behind the drama.